All right, so today we're diving deep into ancient China. We're going to explore a pretty impactful historical figure, Guan Zhong.
Oh, yeah.
This guy was a brilliant strategist, politician, helped Duke Huan of Qi become like the top dog ruler of his time.
Yeah. This is a period that's, it's like, absolutely crucial for understanding how China was governed, centuries of Chinese governance, and even philosophy.
From what I've read, this Guan Zhong guy was playing chess while everybody else was playing checkers,
Yeah, for sure.
He seemed to grasp early on that Duke Huan needed to centralize power if he wanted to be the boss.
Yeah.
What was Qi like back then? Paint us a picture.
Okay, so picture this. Pre-Qin era China, everything's decentralized. It's all this system called enfeoffment. Imagine like a pyramid, right?
Okay.
Kings at the top, doles out land to nobles. They divide it again amongst their ministers and so on.
Okay.
Problem is, the king at the very top, very little control over what happens down below.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like if every department in a company only answered to their own manager, and nobody's really paying attention to the CEO.
Exactly. So in Qi's case, they're losing out on tons of potential revenue, especially from essential stuff,
right.
Salt production, iron.
Yeah.
These were all controlled by the aristocracy.
Not the government.
Not the central government.
So that's where Guan Zhong steps in. Hold on a second. We need to change something here.
Yeah, we need a better system.
We need to, nationalize these industries. The salt and iron industries, that's a bold move, right?
Very savvy. Very savvy.
Yeah.
Because now, Duke Huan, he's got this huge influx of wealth, but also it's really tightening his grip on these nobles.
Right.
This is big, shifting the balance of power. The aristocrats, they're not happy, but the state coffers are overflowing.
Right. It's a calculated risk.
Totally.
But it pays off.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just about seizing industries, though.
No.
This Guan Zhong, he also saw the importance of land ownership.
Oh, totally. Land ownership, that was and still is fundamental in China. So, Guan Zhong, he introduces this well-field system. Basically, you're dividing the land into these, grid-like plots, right?
Okay.
Technically, the Duke owns them, but the nobles, they get to farm them.
Right.
And there's always a but, taxes.
Right. The government's favorite word.
Always.
So I bet those nobles, they tried to find a way around those taxes.
Oh, of course they did. They started cultivating the land surrounding those plots.
Right. This is ours. You can't touch it.
This is tax-free. But Guan Zhong, he's too smart, Yeah. He declares any land farmed within Qi taxes.
You're going to pay.
They're going to pay.
Wow. So there's no escaping the tax man.
Nope.
But this whole system, this was a turning point for land ownership in China, right? Essentially, it paves the way for private ownership.
Huge. Huge. And it lasts for centuries, this impact.
That's crazy.
Yeah. This decision made, all those years ago still resonates today.
It's like a domino effect throughout history. It's amazing.
Okay.
So we got the economy back on track. What about military strength, though? You can't be a powerful leader without a powerful army, right?
Exactly. Power's meaningless if you can't back it up.
Right.
So he completely overhauls the military structure in Qi. Remember that pyramid we were talking about?
Yes.
He flattens it.
Oh, wow.
Gets rid of it.
Okay.
So instead of these fragmented armies, each answering to their own little noble, he creates this unified force.
Answering directly to the Duke.
Directly to the Duke.
Wow.
So he divides Qi into 21 regions. Each one supplies soldiers to a centralized army.
Okay.
End result, standing force of 30,000 men.
30,000.
30,000. Now, it might not sound like a lot today.
Right.
But back then, it was huge. It rivaled the army of the Zhou dynasty, the ruling dynasty at the time.
Wow.
That's a big statement.
That is a big statement. 30,000 men all under, one leader.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Guan Zhong clearly had the brains. He's got the brawn. Was there anything this guy didn't think of?
Well, let's just say his methods, they weren't always, conventional. He was pragmatic.
Okay.
He was relentlessly focused on getting results.
Okay, you got to tell me more. What did he do?
He established state-run brothels.
He did what?
State-run brothels.
Okay. And what was the reasoning behind that?
I know it might sound shocking now.
Yeah, a little bit.
But he saw it as a way to generate revenue, tackle social issues, even, create employment.
Wow.
You can agree, disagree with his approach, but you gotta admire the pragmatism of this man.
He gets things done.
He gets it done.
All right. So we've got a powerful Qi. We've got a wealthy Qi. I imagine it was only a matter of time before Duke Huan wanted to flex his muscles a little bit, right?
Oh, yeah. And what better target than their neighbors in the state of Lu?
Oh, here we go.
They've got this history of conflict already. It's a chance for Qi to test out their newfound strength.
Ah, a little friendly rivalry.
Exactly.
What could possibly go wrong?
Wow. Duke Huan may have underestimated Lu's secret weapon. A brilliant general by the name of Cao Gi.
Oh, this sounds like trouble. Tell me more about this Cao Gi. What kind of strategies was he known for?
Oh, this Cao Gi, he was like a military genius. One of his most famous tactics was strike with full force at first.
Okay.
Then weaken the enemy with the second blow, and then finally just completely exhaust them with the third.
Oh, wow.
And that's exactly how he dismantled Qi's army. Just handed Duke Huan this swift, humiliating defeat.
Wow. So much for being the top dog.
Yeah.
I bet that didn't sit well with Duke Huan. All that work building up this powerful state, and they get outsmarted.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But ever ambitious, Duke Huan saw this as a learning experience.
Okay.
He realized, they needed more influence. They
Yeah.
needed a bigger stage.
Right.
And he found a way to get it.
How?
Strategic marriage.
Oh, the classic marrying to power play.
Yeah.
Who's the lucky lady?
A princess.
Yeah.
Daughter of the Zhou king himself.
Whoa.
This boosted Duke Huan to like this esteemed position, the king's son-in-law,
Oh, okay.
a title he was all too eager to,
To leverage.
to leverage.
Exactly. Hey, everyone, I'm practically royalty now. Show some respect.
Exactly. Yeah, he thought, this is it. This is going to bring all the states in line. They're going to pay their tributes.
Right.
But it wasn't that easy.
I imagine not. Those other rulers probably not too impressed, especially after his last attempt.
Exactly. But Duke Huan, always the opportunist, saw another chance. Chaos erupts in the state of Song.
Oh, no.
Rebellion, the ruler dies. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Qi, they seize the opportunity, they restore order, conveniently install a new ruler, also named Duke Huan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
It's perfect.
We're going to call you Duke Huan, too.
Exactly. You work for us.
Okay, so it's like Duke Huan's collecting allies now.
Totally.
Like they're chess pieces.
Exactly.
I'm going to get them all on my side.
I'm building my team. So what better way to call in these favors than propose this grand alliance meeting
Okay.
with Duke Huan of Qi at the helm?
Okay. Bold move. Bold move. Did it work?
Not exactly. See, only the Zhou king could call those kind of meetings.
Oh, right.
So Duke Huan, coming in hot, it was a little presumptuous.
It's like showing up to a party you weren't invited to and trying to take over the music.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So only a handful of these minor states, they show up.
Right.
Duke Huan's embarrassed. He's frustrated. And to make matters worse, even that newly installed Duke Huan of Song,
Yeah.
he slips out before the meeting's even over.
Oh, man. That's rough.
That's gotta hurt.
Poor Duke Huan. He just can't catch a break.
No, he can't. So, humiliated, determined to figure out what's going on here, he lands on Lu.
Okay.
He's convinced that if Lu had his back, all the other states would fall in line.
Oh, so round 2 with Lu.
Round 2.
Go.
Qi, even stronger this time thanks to Guan Zhong.
Okay.
They launch another attack on Lu. But this time, they're ready for Cao Gi's tricks.
Okay.
They crush Lu in 3 consecutive battles.
Oh, wow.
The tables have turned.
Totally. So what happens? What's the outcome?
Duke Zhong of Lu, he's forced to agree to another alliance meeting.
Okay.
But this time, on Qi's terms.
Oh, I bet.
They meet on this platform, surrounded by Qi's troops.
Talk about an intimidation tactic.
Oh, yeah, the pressure is on.
Yeah.
But then, get this, Cao Gi, Duke Zhong's bodyguard, suddenly he draws his dagger,
No way.
holds it to Duke Huan's throat.
Oh, my God. What happened? Is everybody okay?
Surprisingly, yes. Duke Huan, even with a blade to his throat, he's calm.
No.
He knows killing him, surrounded by his army, not the best move.
Right.
It's tense, though. Cao Gi, he demands they return all the land they seized from Lu.
That's ballsy. That's one way to negotiate.
Oh.
So he stands his ground. What happens?
He does, and it works. Duke Huan backs down. He agrees to Cao Gi's demands.
Wow. What a power move.
It was amazing. This bold move earns Lu a reprieve. But it also, shows Qi's strength. Even when they were outsmarted, they were still calling the shots.
Right, exactly. It's like that idea that, true strength is knowing when to use it, but also when to, hold back.
Absolutely. And this whole incident, it even prompted an apology from Duke Huan of Song for leaving the meeting early.
Oh, right.
He realized if they could pressure Lu like that, they were a force to be reckoned with.
So Qi's the top dog now.
Right.
They finally achieved this hegemon status that Duke Huan was after.
They're getting there. Duke Huan, he eventually manages to get 7 major states together for an alliance meeting.
Wow.
Everyone recognizes him as the leader.
So all that, like, scheming, strategizing, it pays off.
It worked.
What was the focus of the alliance, aside from don't mess with us, I assume?
Right. So their motto was upholding the king and expelling the barbarians.
Okay.
Basically, respect the Zhou king, defend against threats from, like, nomadic tribes.
Sounds pretty noble.
Right.
But I'm sure there's more to it.
Of course. Unspoken agreement, Qi's leading this defense.
Hey.
And as fate would have it, they soon had the perfect opportunity to prove their worth. The state of Yan gets attacked.
Oh no, not Yan. Who's attacking them?
The Shanrong.
Who are they?
Nomadic tribes from the north, known for their military prowess. And Yan, they were no match. They were on the verge of collapse.
Right. So it's the perfect time for this powerful Qi army to come in and save the day.
Cue the hero music. Duke Huan sends his troops north, and they do not disappoint.
Good.
They crushed the Shanrong, drove them back to the grasslands, saved Yan.
Wow, what a heroic rescue. I bet their reputation just, like, skyrocketed after that.
Oh, absolutely. Cemented Qi's rep as a protector. Duke Huan, he's the region's leading hegemon, but remember that powerful southern state we talked about?
Oh, yeah, the one that, like, wanted nothing to do with them.
Yeah. That's Chu.
Okay.
And they are a force to be reckoned with.
They were not messing around, were they?
No, not at all. They saw Qi's influence as, like, a direct threat, you know? And they weren't quiet about it either. Chu had their own ambitions.
Okay, so you got a real clash of the titans brewing. What'd they do? Did you just, like, march right up to Qi's border for a big showdown?
No, Chu was smarter than that. They knew a direct fight with Qi, not a good idea. Not yet, anyway.
Right.
So they played it smart, right? They started chipping away at Qi's alliances, kind of positioning themselves as, like, the alternative to Duke Huan.
Yeah, classic divide and conquer. Undermine the support system.
Exactly.
Smart. So how did Duke Huan respond to this? He wasn't just going to let his alliances crumble, was he?
Oh, absolutely not. No way. Duke Huan, he takes the initiative, leads a campaign south to confront Chu head-on.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
All that army building put to the test.
Yeah.
Was there a big, huge battle?
You know, not quite. This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
So Duke Huan and his forces, they're marching south, right? They get to this river.
Right.
Their path is blocked by the Chu army, all lined up on the other side.
Yeah, it's like a standoff.
Total standoff, high tension. For 3 days, neither army moved, just staring each other down across the river.
3 days. That's a long time for a staring contest.
Right.
Even with an army at your back, that's got to be nerve-wracking.
Oh, absolutely. It was this battle of wills, you know, high-stakes game of chicken, each side waiting for the other to blink, to show weakness.
Yeah. So who cracked first?
It was Guan Zhong who broke the stalemate. He convinces Duke Huan to withdraw, pull back their forces.
Really? After marching all that way? That seems kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It does. It does. But Guan Zhong, he had a plan. He knew a long, drawn-out war. It wouldn't benefit Qi in the long run.
Right.
He figured this gesture of peace, even in the face of a challenge, it would send a message.
Yeah. It's like saying, look, we're so powerful, we don't even need to fight you.
Exactly. And it worked.
Yeah.
That strategic retreat, it actually strengthened Qi's position, made them look confident, made Chu look like the aggressor to the other states.
Wow. So it's a victory, but not through, like, brute force.
Yep.
It's diplomacy.
Exactly. Strategy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we've gone on this deep dive into ancient China. What's the takeaway? What have we learned?
I think the story of Duke Huan and Guan Zhong, it shows us that power, it's complicated. It's not always about military might, right?
Right.
Real power, it comes from understanding strategy, building alliances, knowing when to hold them, knowing when to fold them, as they say.
Right. Making calculated decisions, even when they seem a little strange at the time.
Yeah. And I think Guan Zhong, he definitely had a knack for that.
He did. So what do you think? What's Guan Zhong's legacy? How should we remember this guy?
His legacy is definitely complex. I mean, he wasn't afraid to, make some ruthless moves to reach his goals.
Yeah.
People still debate that today.
Right.
But you can't deny his impact. He transformed Qi. He laid the groundwork for a strong, unified state.
Yeah.
That's a legacy that lasted for centuries.
It did. From those economic reforms we talked about to the military strategies, even those, unconventional social policies.
Right. The guy was an architect of power, that's for sure.
He was. And it makes you wonder, with this new power dynamic, this Chu state on the rise, what's going to happen?
Right, exactly.
to do Duke Huan's, carefully built alliances.
Right. Is diplomacy going to win out, or are we headed for a whole new era of conflict?
Now, what's going to happen? That is something to think about.